Hello, TamBoTC channel, and we're going to be reading The Transformers, issue number 1 by Skybound in a 4-issue limited series. It is for my channel, it is Transformers TMNT month, and ironically, I think there's an anniversary for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I can't remember if it's the 35th anniversary or what, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to watch it again, as well as the original Transformers. Hold on a sec. I can't believe it's getting loud again. Like, every time I try to do a video, I want these windows open, but it's freaking loud. There. Holy frick. Shut the frick up, cars. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's get the frick into this. I did finally get a new phone. It should be shipping here. I don't know when, but it will have much better quality. It is a Google Pixel, actually, which is great. As it'll have a much better camera, and I need the camera for stuff like this. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this. There's probably going to be a couple of videos with this camera for the last time, but yeah, I kind of want to redo some of the other comic books with that new camera, but hey, I don't know. That's up to you guys if you care about that. Anyways, I wonder how I should narrate this, if I should do Optimus Prime or whatever. The lighting's also freaking sucking right now. And I'm trying to be as close to the mic as I possibly can, by the way. It's hard to, as well as I'm like a generally quiet person. So, yeah.
Circling the star Alpha Centauri ages ago was a planet unlike any other in the heavens, Cybertron. No rock or soil or sand contributed to its bizarre geography. Its content was entirely mechanical. Cybertron instead existed from a metallic surface to core. I don't know what's going on with me. As a vast Saturn-sized machine world, a world whose origins were lost in the dead past. And cities... Oh, sorry, I didn't even see that. Yet life had evolved here. It had grown and adapted and thrived in its environment remarkably well. And cities rose across a broad mechanical expanse, cities that were the products of Cybertron's dominant life form, the Autobots, whereas life elsewhere in the cosmos usually evolved through carbon bonding. Here it was the interaction of naturally occurring gears, levers, and pulleys that miraculously brought forth sentient beings. They created a mechanical paradise, machine-filled landscape where each Autobot went about his pursuits in peace and prosperity. But every paradise has its serpent, and on this world it was Megatron, commander of those who called themselves the Decepticons. Look at them below, contented, fools ripe for the conquest.
Oh, wait, is that Megatron talking? I can't really tell. It's pointing at the frickin' goddamn dog, or is that Ravage?
Look at them below, contented, fools ripe for our conquest. Indeed, Ravage.
Oh, wait, it was Ravage. What the frick? Frick off.
Indeed, Ravage, we have lived peacefully with the Autobots for eons, slowly, secretly gathering our strength, and pursuing our technology. Now we shall strike at those who have brought the stagnation of peace and plenty to Cybertron. They shall learn the way of conflict, the way of war, the way of Megatron. In the weeks that followed, Decepticons from everywhere reported for the clandestine meetings to learn the logistics of the coming clash and their parts in the struggle. The wonders of their technology bestowed upon the Decepticons the awesome ability to transform into weapons of unprecedented power. With these tasks completed, all was in readiness for the first assault. Strike! Strike! With all the might at our command, death to the Autobots and the decay they stand for. The war spread until it was a global conflict. The forces unleashed were staggering, inconceivable, and each attack upon an Autobot stronghold was orchestrated with the precision of which only finely tuned machinery is capable. As the powers at play grew in strength, Cybertron itself was shaken loose from its orbit and sent hurtling through space.
Come on, focus.
And still the war raged across the battle-scarred surface of the runaway planet. Though taken by surprise and destroyed by the billions in the initial assaults, the surviving Autobots were not defenseless. Each was gifted with the ability to alter his configuration into strange, unearthly vehicles of great offensive potential, and while the Decepticons in their armored aircraft shapes swooped down upon the many Autobot city-states erected during the war, the Autobot warriors stood firm and fought back. In time, the magnificent armies on each side of the struggle became known as the Transformers. Despite the valor of the Autobots, the Decepticons had planned the pattern of the war too well. Autobot casualties mounted everywhere, and in the forefront of the most devastating attacks stood the malevolent Megatron, whose deadly fusion cannon spewed endless streams of energy that laid waste to the entire Autobot strongholds. Soon we Decepticons will have ground our enemies under our heel, and we shall begin our prime task. Rebuilding Cybertron into a cosmic dreadnought, we shall turn our very planet into the single most deadly weapon in existence. Then let the universe beware. But from the
Excuse me. What is that?
the icon, greatest of city-states, there came a leader to inspire the Autobots in their hour of deadliest peril, Optimus Prime. Of all the Autobots, only he, wise and powerful beyond understanding, was able to unite the scattered warriors into a fully effective fighting force. Using the ability to transform into a combat vehicle, Optimus possessed the firepower potential that none but Megatron could match. Under the leadership of Optimus Prime, the Autobots repelled the Decepticons' assaults with renewed vigor and rebuilt their fallen city-states until again they functioned as sanctuaries, and so the war raged for over 1,000 years as Cybertron continued its mad rush through the cosmos. until came the day when danger threatened from without as well as within. Cybertron's course had placed it directly into the path of an asteroid belt. Autobot astronomers relayed the danger instantly. A meeting of the Autobot elders was called. And that is what confronts us, my friends. The homeworld will perish unless we act now. Whether racked by the war or not, this is our world, sire. One day we will reclaim it, but first this threat must be met. I shall lead a specifically selected group into space itself to clear a path through the asteroids, but there is another danger. Our flight will expose us to the attack of the Decepticons. Those accompanying me might all perish in the attempt to save Cybertron. But I shall be there to meet the enemy should they strike. Unknown even to Optimus, his words were heard by the Decepticon Ravage, whose detection by any monitoring device was virtually impossible. Megatron will be pleased to hear of this, I am certain. The Autobots labored to construct a craft that would propel them into the void, a craft dubbed the Ark. Meanwhile, inside the foreboding castle Decepticon that was home to Megatron. You have done well, Ravage. Your abilities to absorb electromagnetic radiation and thus remain undetected are invaluable qualities. And ever shall they be in the service of the Decepticon Empire, my lord. See that you never waver, master of stealth. All too often, the nature of the spy is to weigh his loyalties and switch when he feels the time is right. Never, great Megatron. Now what is our course of action? We shall construct our own spacecraft, pursue Optimus and his fools into space, and strike when they are weakest after completed task. The death of their beloved ruler will so demoralize the remaining Autobots that their surrender will be a certainty. Ahead, the sons of Cybertron unleash the celestial display of power seldom seen, as huge chunks of the spaceborne rocks were pulverized, clearing the necessary pathway, and inside the spacecraft. Fellow Autobots, we have succeeded through your efforts, and soon our world will pass safely through this dangerous segment of space and travel near the lifeless third planet of this solar system before going beyond. Let us rejoice in our achievement as we return to Cybertron, and let us redouble our efforts to end the slaughter that has consumed our world for so many centuries. We must make peace with the enemy, with the Decepticons. But the words of Optimus Prime were lost in the sudden din. The surprise attack violently shook the Ark and its occupants. Swiftly the Autobots regrouped and retaliated, but their efforts were impossible to sustain. We're too weak after the exertion of destroying the asteroids. Our firepower is no match.
Oops, sorry. I had a little there.
Even the safety of the Ark was insufficient. Our hull is breached. Prepare to resist Decepticon boarding party. But the Decepticons were fresh, fully fueled for the battle. And the innervated Autobots were cut down where they stood. My computations show defeat is imminent. Within 5.7 minutes. Optional courses of action include... We have but one course open to us, Prowl, most trusted of my advisors. I had anticipated such a move by the Decepticons. The Ark and its secrets must never fall into the enemy hands, so I plotted an alternate course that would take us on a suicidal heading directly into the third planet of the solar system. Farewell, my friend. Though we die, at least our enemies are taken with us.
Come on, focus.
The impact was awesome. Huge clouds of dust and ash blanketed the nearby terrain as the spacecraft embedded itself in a volcanic mountain. Silence for over 4 million years, nothing disturbing the crypt like the atmosphere within the dormant structure. And then, like a sleeper rudely awakened, the volcano erupts in the crescendo or explosive brilliance. The eruption uncovers an object buried some 40,000 centuries ago, an alien object, pocked and pitted by the passage of time. Time which has changed the face of this planet and those who dwell upon it. This currently dominant species has named this world they rule, Earth. This volcano, Mount St. Hilary, they have marked the movement of time numerically. As it is reckoned, the date is 1984. But all that means nothing here. Time and place have seemingly little significance to those who lay within this rotting hulk. The shroud of darkness has descended again here for perhaps another 4 million years. Perhaps not. Pinpricks of light appear inside the craft, and the barely audible hum of machinery awakened by the titanic blast. Beacons flare, probing the darkness, illuminating the dank, cavernous walls. In the side of the great ship, a hatch that was remained closed for millennia now opens. From it, a device is launched forth. It is a sensor drone. Its mission: gather data for transmission back to the Ark. The scout craft relays the telemetry to the mothership, although it was state-of-the-art technology when designed. Its data banks possess only the capability of perceiving mechanical life forms. Thus, the many carbon-based species pass below unnoticed by the active drone.
Sensors confirm that this is not Cybertron nor any world in the Alpha Centauri star system. Scanning sequence continue.
Finally, miles from its point of origin, the probe picks up signals from what its logic circuits say must be one of the planet's indigenous life forms. The configuration bears a striking resemblance to Decepticon attack forms. The drone swiftly plots its return to the Ark. Forests teeming with countless life forms appear utterly dead to the drone. But an Oregon interstate highway sends a stream of data back into the Autobot probe, almost overloading its circuits with information. Functionally, they resemble the vehicular Autobot forms, and the automation affinity exists, and that seems enough. But there is more, much more. Centuries of seemingly unending variety in shapes, all mechanically and electrically alive to the drone's sensors, back to the Ark and resurrection. The ship's brain dispatches revival drones to reawaken its long-dormant crew, commencing revival procedures. True to its programming, the Ark alters the structure of its inhabitants, rebuilding them to be able to change their shapes in accordance with the mechanical life detected beyond the Ark, to better ensure survivability. But its memory banks were damaged in the ages ago crash. The knowledge of the Great War was erased. Thus, friend and foe alike are equally subject to its attentions. The Ark's alteration are such that the basic nature of each robot is preserved. The Autobots are programmed to imitate earthly vehicles. The Decepticons will resemble earthly weapons and communications devices. Both factions, if necessary, can revert to their original robotic forms.
Megatron, what has happened? Where are we?
The ship's brain imparted the information on local to the circuitry. We crash-landed on this world ages ago and have been in a state of dormancy since, until the explosion reawakened the Ark and it revived us.
The Autobots, too, though groggy, have arisen from their stasis. Thus let us finish the task that has driven our kind for centuries. But first...
Are we all accounted for on this brave new world?
Skywarp up in rating, sir, and my teleportational power'll pop me right into their midst to make mischief.
As ever, your cause is thundercrackers, great Megatron, our land-bound enemy, Weatherby, being picked off, as well as I soar over them, striking with the rockets and sonic booms. As the fastest, most maneuverable of Decepticons, jet flyers, I, Starscream, shall continue to accumulate Autobot body counts that enhance the reputation of our leader.
Can the speeches, Star? Rebel's back in town, and I'm gonna shake the place up with some low-frequency ground waves. You hit 'em from up top, and I'll do the job down here.
Excuse me.
And I, Frenzy, will shatter our opponent's equilibrium using high-pitched sound waves. I will not cease until every Autobot is slain. And you, Soundwave?
I'm to monitor transmissions
and read Autobot electrical impulses, learn their plans. Even my photographic memory serves as a defensive weapon.
Does even that compare with Ravage's power to
What's that say? It's just got a blue. Okay. That's weird.
Lipa undetected anywhere, and my own monitoring devices and my nose module allow me to smell, hear, and detect electromagnetic radiation beyond that of any Decepticon. It all pales next to the artistry of Buzz. It all pales in artistry of Buzzsaw. I can pinpoint a hex nut at 20 miles with my optical sensors, and my beak has carved many an Autobot warrior into a masterpiece of scrap metal.
Okay, who is this?
Just leave some of the some for Laserbeak. Comrades, allow me to fuel struggling survivors of our battle, and I'm certain I'll pry some useful information from them with my optical lasers, even if they die in the telling. Come, our time to strike is later.
Oh, my video might stop, so I'll do a part 2.
Strike is later. The ship's brain has placed into our circuits the knowledge that this world possesses enormous untapped fuel resources we can exploit in our struggle against the Autobots. Why not strike now, my leader, and the Autobot threat in this world is ours for the taking. What flawed logic persuades you otherwise?
Who's that talking?
Sound logic persuades me. We are still weak, ourselves, and few in number. One of our mightiest is missing, our fuel sources uncertain. Should our attack fail, the might of Optimus could well decide the outcome. No, we leave. We'll fight, Starscream, but at the time and place of our choosing.
At that, Megatron's orders his Decepticons to turn and retreat, and while retreating, to transform.
It's a lot of reading to do in this. Let me check something. Hold on. There is a lot. Oh, okay. There's not much more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's only 12 pages left. Okay. But we are getting close to... I'll probably save those 12 for part 2. Because this went on long enough. There's a lot to frickin' read in this. Anyways, what page are we on? It doesn't really say, but I'll try and remember the look of the page. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. The voices do take a lot out of me. And I hope you have an awesome day. If you did enjoy, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and I will see you next time. We'll do the TMNT one next. This will be our first TMNT book to read.
And don't forget to transform and roll out. Oh wait, that's Optimus Prime's thing.
We also have the Turtles. I do have other Turtles and Transformers stuff. They're just not put over here with the rest of the stuff.
But don't forget to transform and roll out.